Hello and welcome to the relaunch of the CCC podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kalari Gamer Chick, also known as Tanisa Walker on Twitter. I will be joined in just a moment by my fellow co-host Verg, and soon after that, Panther Goddess, who is currently in traffic, getting ready to get back to her base so that we can get this podcast started. Oh, we have so much to talk about. I am about to fire things up so that we can get so much out. I am so looking forward to this. Hey, Deal, my goodness, it's been so long.
It has. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Just trying to get this work. Okay, all right. Actually, yeah, good to see you right now. It's been stuck in traffic, but yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I said it. I was like a couple of weeks back. I really wanted to start getting everything put together to get us back on the air, and then the hack happened. And for those that don't know, Diverse Voices Nation is down for now, but I own the domain name, so I will get that site back up eventually. But we had so many people talking about when are you going to bring the cast back, and then we had haters talking about the cast, and I was like, yeah, it's time to get us back.
Completely misconstruing everything as they usually do.
Exactly. That's what I said. They might try to take us down, but we will never be out.
Oh, no. You can't stop us.
Exactly.
Excellent. This is great.
It is. I am so glad to see you. I know you've been busy as heck, too.
Yeah, just, that life, just school, work, go to school, teaching school,
Yeah.
a lot of 14-hour days recently, so it's nice to get the holiday and whatnot.
Exactly. And as bad as this country has been lately, I've actually enjoyed this holiday because I eliminated a lot of the fuckery this year. It was just me, mom, and kiddo for Thanksgiving. It's going to be us for Christmas. I don't know if Greg will be able to make it down or not. And then hopefully we'll be moving soon. As much as I don't like the cold, he's insisting on Michigan, so we're going to give it a try.
Yeah, hey, the new adventure, I'm sure.
Exactly. I still got my passport ready, though.
Yeah, right, yeah. And you're closer to Canada, so there's always that.
Exactly.
Across, I guess, right?
Exactly. Just hop that border.
Yeah, right. I used to get booze over here from Canada back in Prohibition.
Oh, yeah.
Going the other way.
Now, for now, it's going to be basically the three of us, Zwerg, me, and Panther. I did put out feelers to other members, but right now, people are busy. I know Solstice was interested when we were talking back in the summer about a relaunch, but she's also working really hard. I haven't been able to contact Lefty since she moved back to the mainland. I know he was really interested for a bit, but he's really busy too.
Yeah, he hasn't been on much.
No.
Online much, so maybe his situation just, new place, new routine,
Yeah.
ain't quite fit it in. I don't know how that goes.
And then Eric is running a strong campaign in District 6 of Denver. He wants to be back on eventually, but he is in full campaign mode. And hopefully I'll be writing stuff for him soon because he officially brought me on the team for that. So I'm excited about that.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
He's a great guy. I've known him since he and I were younger. We used to play D&D together, so it's really exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've heard good captain. He's super cool.
Yeah, so
Really nice guy.
I know we haven't been on for a while, and there's been so much fuckery, but I wanted people to know that we've seen your tweets, we've seen some of the tweets that you didn't think were gonna get back to us, and we've been working. We have lives, and it was hard to get together to get this done.
Yeah, and running a cult, it's really tough.
Exactly.
It's time consuming. There's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
You have to register your cult. All these things. Cult fees.
Yes. Now, we are definitely going to get to the heart of that topic today because we all have something very important to say to the Twitter click mentality, and that's definite. But What our show is known about is we talk about social fuckery, we talk about political fuckery, we talk about what's affecting this nation. And of course, we can't do that without talking about like the news of the week, which includes all the Trump bullshit, all the stuff that's going on right now. I mean, we've got the oil spill, which we told y'all that the people who protested the DAPL, the people who protested the Keystone, we all warned that this was going to happen, and what happens in oil spill.
Yeah, I mean, statistically speaking, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not a perfect science, and the whole, oil pipeline things happen, and, I was reading, I mean, obviously they're doing what they can to mitigate the damage, remediation, and get, digging up the soil and trying to get out there, but it's like, this is exactly as you said, this time it may not be so impactful, but next time it might be into the water, And
exactly.
I read an article, the company that Trans Canada that runs the pipeline safety precaution. As a safety precaution, Trans Canada sampled one of the residential water well, one residential water well yesterday at a location about 1.5 miles from the site to alleviate any concerns. All test results were normal. It's like hearing that just doesn't alleviate many concerns. I mean, yeah, you tested it immediately after it happened. Like, okay, it didn't immediately get there, but the thing about it is it'll like leach in there over time, possibly. I mean, it didn't go right into the water. Okay, great. But yeah, just you can tell. I mean, they do what they can, but it's not the whole. The fact that there's a pipeline going through there is the problem, not that they can. I mean, I don't think they can improve safety to the point where they can say with 100% certainty that water is going to be safe and unaffected. I mean, it's insane. It's so insane.
It really is. And what really bothers me is the trouble that this shows people who want to protest. It makes you feel like, well, what's the point? The natives who protested these pipelines had hoses turned on them. They had dogs turned on them. Their lives were constantly threatened to the point where veterans had to come and stand with them and be like, look, you're not going to keep abusing these tribes here who are just trying to protect their land. And they were lied to by this government that, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. And then Trump, going right behind their backs, puts the process into play. And just like we warned, the ecological ramifications are already starting. And it's like, come on now.
Yeah, and I remember that whole timeline of all those events, and for a time they got it stopped, right? They got it. When Obama was still in office, they kind of said, okay, we're not going to do this. But I just remember, man, it's like, oh, Trump's coming down he'll be the president soon. And you just knew.
Exactly.
You just knew that there was no chance, and that's like a lot of things now. You just know that the worst possible scenario will be put into play. I mean,
exactly. He is undoing so much of President Obama's legacy based on his own hate and pettiness. I mean, look at I was reading early and I watched Joy Reid and the whole revoking of the TPS for Haitians. It's like, how cruel do you have to be? You know these people cannot go back to their country right now. It is not ready to take on 60,000 people. It can't even take care of the people that are on the nation. It is slowly rebuilding from that devastating earthquake. And yet, this administration, which I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, is full on white supremacy. It is ready to send 60,000 people back to uncertainty because Trump wants to pander to that base.
Yeah, well, I mean, it really is MO, is to just sort of subjugate, make people feel lesser than, and that he has control over them, especially POC, black people, etc. Yeah, it is, and the whole thing like with sports, you don't see him picking on Greg Popovich or Greg Kerr or Steve Kerr. You hear him picking on Marshawn Lynch and others.
I'm telling you, the Marshawn Lynch thing. Yeah, the Marshawn Lynch thing makes me laugh because the tweeter Trayvon Free had me rolling. He said, for real, Marshawn Lynch is the kind of guy that I would see go into the White House to fight the president. And I fell out laughing because he's going to pick the wrong one. And everybody's talking about the LeVar Ball thing with his son and stuff. That was a whole bunch of mess. I tried to avoid that mess because he's a hot mess too. But he's gonna pick the wrong brother or sister one of these days, and Trump's gonna have a real fight on his hands, something that we all know his bitch ass can't handle.
Yeah, and that's the thing is he picks people, he's not going for Jay-Z or somebody at the top of success and like complete, success. He's kind of going for more on the margins and around issues, the whole kneeling thing, and then
he attacked Jamel Hill, and it's like, look, she didn't even freaking really dog you out the way she probably wanted to, buddy. She kept it refined. The rest of us are calling you a straight up Orange Caligula, and she's been trying to keep it real, but keep it, civil.
Yeah.
He needs to back off.
Well, I mean, this is his thing. It's like dog whistling. He's attacking black people because his base loves it.
Exactly.
And it really has its deep roots and clearly racist feelings, and being racist. I mean, it's what it is, and it's a way to, to kind of not be so overtly racist and directly racist, but kind of, tone police and all these sort of things that people do, and racist people do. This is no different,
Exactly. Really, I'm telling you right now, and I wanted to talk about police violence against POC, but I'm gonna try to wait for Meg to get out of that traffic jam because she had a story that I really want to touch base on. But the whole problem with this administration and racism is they are willing to put any kind of mess forward. And I know some people are like, well, they're pushing this Roy Moore crap because of the tax bill that they're trying to push to really screw the poor to help the wealthy. But it's more than that. When I look at Alabama, which is, I'm pretty close to that state here in North Carolina as it is. It's one of the things about the South is there are parts of it I love, but there are parts of it that you couldn't pay me to go through. And Alabama is one of them. As somebody who loves history, who has studied a lot about that state, how they had literal parts of Alabama where black people, this is common knowledge among black people that you did not go into these towns after dark because you would be lynched. You would be killed. Yeah, that state is entrenched in that. And I feel for the people because somebody made a really good point on Twitter, and I don't want to mess up their names because I'm blanking on it. But she was like, y'all only want to talk about the bad in Alabama, but what about all of us who have to live here who are oppressed for people of color? I'm like, look, I feel your pain. I feel you, but your loud, racist cousins and neighbors and whatnot are the ones that people see the loudest. And as much as I want to try to elevate you right now, y'all are trying to put a freaking pedophile into Senate power. So, yeah, you might not like the fact that it shines that ugly light on you, but we have to look at the ugly before we tackle it. People are so afraid to do that.
Yeah, and it's like just because, and not everybody in Alabama is, backwoods kind of, just whatever thing. You know what I mean? There are formula, and they have to speak up. And I guess I'm not from Alabama. I've lived in California my whole life, so this might be ignorance. But you speak up against the people that are, the a-holes, the racists and stuff. And I imagine that would make you ostracized incredibly.
Exactly.
So it's really, to try and spin Alabama as some sort of there are good people here and there's good worthwhile stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, that may be true, but the greater vibe is completely horrible.
Exactly.
I don't foresee a time when it's going to be not horrible. So if I lived in Alabama, I'd move.
Yep. That's what I'm saying.
It's like, dude, yeah, if it's not important to you, it's not important to you, but you just have to live with that. You can't have it both ways and say, oh, there's good people, that's really worthwhile. It's like, yeah, that may be true to some isolated aspects, but just the prevailing vibe is just not good. Like you said, there's a pedophile in a neck and neck race for a senator. That's
exactly.
Should kind of tell you all you need to know. California does some weird shit, but I'm pretty sure we wouldn't openly elect a pedophile.
And that's what I'm saying. NC is what they call a purple state because we struggle between red and blue here. We finally got out the Republican governor, and we have a really solid governor who's Democrat right now, working his best. I supported him and our AG to win, and I was happy when they did. And I got help from the GOP senator when I had issues getting mine and kiddo's passport. So it's not like I haven't worked with politicians on both ends of the spectrum. But the thing is, I would love to say that this state wouldn't be stupid enough to back a pedophile for a tax break. And that's why I keep writing Senator Burr. And that's why I keep writing Tillis. And that's why I keep Facts and Price. Because it doesn't make sense. I know that you've got donors who want to keep their pockets fat. But you got to put the state that you volunteered to work for. You're supposed to be all of our voices. And if this is the kind of fuckery you're pushing, you're not going to have a job come next election, as far as I'm concerned.
That's the thing, is it's like there's a lot of facets to politics, and there's electoral politics and, rallying the base and all that, which the Republicans have done really well.
Yep.
But there's also governing the United States, and they've done a horrible job with that.
They really
for
have.
the most part. I mean, there are Republicans who are good at it, but like as a whole, I mean, look at what we have. They can't pass anything, and then the stuff they want to pass is like horrible, So it's just, God, it's like, that Tea Party thing came in, and this growing kind of, discontented populist thing, white populism, racist essentially. It really just, it's taken over the Republican Party, and Trump's culmination of that. And while you have these senators who may be like well-intentioned and smart people who do have, ideological differences from liberal Democrats, but they're not idiots, and they're willing to compromise, how things ought to be.
And they think
they seem hamstrung by this whole huge, leviathan of idiocy, and they have to like pledge fealty to Donald Trump and basically like artfully comment about a child molester. I mean, if it comes true, like, McConnell, like, if it's true, it's horrible. It's like, dude, you don't even get. I mean, it's all politics. They're all like technocrats now.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, if it's true, it used to be when I was a kid, if a congressman was even hinted at a sexual scandal, that was it for their career.
Yeah, and the thing, I mean, there was like the whole they didn't have cell phones, so a lot of kind of untoward stuff could happen, and they get away with it. Say, see JFK, right? But at the same time, it just, now we have a lot more access to all this stuff, and I guess like these senators, they think that they can get away with it because they're powerful. But it's like, hey man, you put a picture out there, it's out there.
Exactly.
That's what they. Yeah, they can still ignore it like it was ignored. It's like, nah, there's a lot more evidence of stuff now. Yeah. People are, people, as they should, believe women when they talk,
Exactly.
So it's not just like go back in the kitchen, whatever, blah, 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 right? I mean, that's what in the 50s. Okay, that's the thing that a lot of these assholes want. They want it to be the 50s again.
They do. They want women in their place. They want blacks in their place. They want homosexuality to be considered a mental illness. And it's like, when people talk about making America great, I've been writing this for 2 years. Great for who? If you really know history, and I don't mean the whitewashed history that they teach in textbooks. I mean the history like my favorite history teacher, Mr. Chet Cuder. I will never forget this man. He told me to look for history outside the book, and it will open your world. And this is why I'm a history lover to this day. Because there is so much this country pushes that isn't real. And the real history is fascinating.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff, like who discovered America.
Exactly.
It's just like, I mean, as a history teacher, I do understand you need to codify things in order to teach them because you can't get so in depth, but it's not that. It's like a complete, like you said, whitewashing. I mean, textbooks are a history of white people by white people for white people.
Yes.
They are, I mean, like, I'm not happy about this, but our department head has us skip the Middle East and Africa sections. We do the Imperial Africa, but we don't do like the history of Africa section. So it's they keep it literally the story that they want you to tell is white people.
Yep.
We had the Enlightenment, and then we traveled, and then imperialism, and colonies. Oh, America came. Then white people bought some wars. And then now America is the best white place. It really, that's what it is.
It is.
Yes,
And they
it's
got
important to know history, those a lot some of that history, but it's like it can be worked in and taught from a way different perspective, which is what I try to do the best I can.
I'm telling you, the questions that you ask us sometimes, like in our chat, is great because I think that a lot of teachers they try, but they come across the red tape roadblocks as I call them too, because there's only so much you can teach before some Joe Bob gets wind that his kid is learning about equality and they get mad, especially here in the South. The teachers are really hamstringed at times by where they are. You know, there are certain school districts that can get away with more diverse teaching, but there are other school districts where it's like off the table, where it's like if you do it, you risk your career, and it needs to stop. Because whether people understand this or not, this country is a melting pot.
Yeah.
And we're collectively, even white people are getting kind of sick of this whole white narrative. Like, that's the problem I'm having with the Democrats right now, is pushing that whole mythical white working class bullshit. I'm like, the American working class comes in every ethnic background. So y'all need to get off this bullshit.
Yeah. God, yeah. Fucking Dan Jones going around listening to fucking Iowa farmers and shit.
I know.
I mean, the only reason I would do that is literally I would like hold my breath like I'm doing this because it might help the Democrat get elected. You know what I mean? It's like I don't believe in that stuff. I mean, I see why maybe it's good for optics, and if we coddle those people, they'll vote for us. Like I get it, but I'm not the one. You know what I mean?
I keep saying that it is like a desperate person chasing the person that's the object of their affection that don't want them. After the second no, you should probably move on because that person does not want you. The Democrats keep trying to court people that don't want them instead of motivating the people that could back them. You have a diverse section of voters who say, I'm Democrat because when I look at the DNC, I see the America that I grew up in, of different backgrounds, of people coming together. When I looked at the RNC, it was just angry white people everywhere. So there's no way I could go to a party like that. I would be afraid to be lynched, and I'm not joking about that. That RNC last year scared me. I was just so angry and so white America. When you looked at the sea of faces in the DNC, that's what they should be pushing. But instead, you got like Chris Matthews from Hardball throwing out that whole, when the back in my day, we elevated the white working class today. And like, why only the white working class? You keep acting like there's no Asian working class, there's no Native American, there's no black working class, there's no Mexican working class, because I'm like some dummies. I'm not going to throw religion into this because some people are like, well, what about the Jews? What about the Muslims? You do realize that those are religions and that any people of any color can be those religions. So enough with that. And that's why I can't stand Islamophobic people too, because it's like, you do realize that anybody can be Muslim. It don't matter what shade they are. Yeah.
Fuck Sam Harris, but
yeah.
They look Muslim. It's like, what the fuck does a Muslim look like?
Exactly.
That's just so ridiculous. I mean, unless they're wearing something clearly that denotes that they're Muslim, it's like, it's like it's so ridiculous.
It is.
I don't get it.
I grew up in a multi-ethnic family. When I say multi-ethnic, I mean multi-ethnic. I have Hispanic, I have Filipino, I have white, I have black. I'm part Native American myself. My family is mixed. We could be the freaking United Nations. I am for real serious. We have Jewish family members. We have Catholic family members. We have Christian family members. I myself am pagan. I'm the 1% in my family with that. Okay? So when people say stupid racist stuff, it just makes my head hurt. It's like, do you not understand that? And I mean on all sides, because I had to get on this tweet and I finally just unfollowed and forgot about her. She was coming at me about white people. I was like, look, I get you're angry. And I want people who listen to this to understand, I get you're angry. I sometimes have a hard time too. I look at Greg sometimes and be like, you know what, I love you, but I hate your people sometimes. And he's like, those aren't my people. But I will never go to that level. I don't want to say not all white people because I shouldn't have to say not all white people, but I'm not going to attack all white people. So if you see me interacting with white people on my timeline and you consider yourself a sister girl or brother man and you try to come at me with that flip side racism, you might as well unfollow and forget me because I'm going to call your ass out on that. I don't like hate.
Yeah, and the thing is, like when white people, pretty horrible. And the thing about it is, like when I say stuff like, "Oh man, like the whites are at it again," it's if you feel like, "Oh, they're insulting me," it's like you should examine that.
Exactly.
Why are you so? It's like, I'm white, yes, but I'm not like proud Italian, like that sort of thing. But it's like I'm not gonna defend whiteness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not, it's like it's bullshit. You know what I mean? So that being said, it's like nobody should be offended. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's not like a white guilt thing. It's just like, yeah, I'm white, so I'll do something that to take advantage of that helps people out. You'll provide cover for people who would get yelled at. Oh God, that's another thing. Oh, did you see the footage of that? I think the Chinese guy on the train.
Yes.
The train.
Oh my God.
And everybody was okay. So there's different reactions to this video, and it's bullshit. The dude's obviously a horrible racist, and he should get clocked in the face. But the guy sitting next to the Chinese guy got up and left.
Yeah.
See that? I wanted to punch that guy too.
Yeah.
Because it's like that guy could have stood up and said like, "Hey man, you're being completely ridiculous," and put himself in between the situation.
Yeah.
And as a white person, he can't be like, "Yo, you're this, you're that." Like, okay, the black guy who's sitting there, okay, he's like, "Get up, get out of there." You know what I mean? It's just like, because if he stands up, then the crazy guy's gonna be like, "Oh, you're a black this and that," and say racist stuff to that guy. So it puts him kind of, so the thing is, the white guy needs to provide the cover and like, "Hey, you're being a complete asshole. I'm gonna punch you in the face unless you stop." And then, the tussle happens that way, and it's like, I don't know. That's just how personally, that's kind of like how I think people should react. White people, like myself, who give a shit and want things to change.
Exactly. And what I'm going to say this, I was torn about that sister girl stepping in because it's like, you didn't want to say nothing at first when he was throwing out the N-word at that Asian dude, calling him a Asian N-word. And then you step in only when the Asian guy finally stands up and says, "That's it. You put your hands on me more than once, motherfucker. It's time to fight." And I'm like, sister girl, you need to sit down. And everybody's like tapping her on the back and giving her kudos for finally stepping in. And it's like, no, she don't get a cookie from me for that. Because the moment the crazy guy, and I say crazy loosely because I have a mental illness and I don't believe it's just him being crazy. But the moment he threw the first N-word, I would have been like, yo, you need to shush with that and get out his face.
That's the thing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's people's reaction. That woman did that because she was made personally uncomfortable because it might have a fight, and it's like, oh, like it's kind of the whole like, oh, it's upsetting my delicate sensibilities,
Yeah.
That was her impetus for doing that, and it shouldn't be. It should be, oh, this guy's a total racist asshole. We need to stand up right now. It's like the same thing. A fucking guy gets up on a plane, he says, "I'm hijacking this plane." I'm not going to waste a lot of time letting him do that. I'm going to go right at him, and hopefully somebody follows me.
Exactly.
That's the kind of mentality we need in this country to change. White people, namely, need to change their mentality about viewing this shit in public. Because if you're not going to stand up for it in person in public, then what the fuck are you doing? I mean, I talk a lot of shit online. I mean, I call people out, but I do it in person too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't. I don't feel like I'm misrepresenting myself or what I do. I mean, I'm smart about it. I'm a teacher. I'm not going to go to the local grocery store and yell at somebody in front of a possible bunch of students. But I work far enough away, so where I live, I can do that. So, anyway, it's total bullshit.
It's fuckery. And what bothers me about the people who are like praising the woman is, look, even if you wanted the devil's advocate and say she was just trying to save him from maybe getting the rest of this stuff, the dude, the white guy put his hands on that guy more than once. The video's clear about that. He had every right at that point to throw hands and defend himself.
Absolutely.
Because somebody puts their hands on me, they better hope they're knocking my ass out. Because if I get a swing, I'm going to make that swing count. And it just bothers me because there have been white people who stood up, who gave their lives. Those 3 men in Portland, 2 of them died. One of them had serious hospitalization injuries, and he had autism on top of that. But they did not let that crazy Jeremy Christian harass those 2 little girls on that train. So don't tell me that it's not possible to stand up. You've got, just like you said, Bert, people got to get out of that comfort zone, because this isn't the first time some crazy racist guy has yelled on the train stuff. It's just they know who they think they can pick on, and a lot of Asian people get picked on because they're viewed as quiet. Now, I have Southeast Asian in my family, mostly Filipino, and I'll tell you what, I said it a few months ago, that my auntie would cut a bitch for disrespecting her. And a lot of Filipino people who follow me were like, yeah, because they not all Asians are these quiet, dutiful people.
Yeah, no, absolutely, right? And the sad thing is you get that impression a lot of times because they're made to feel that way in the United States. Like, I shouldn't speak up for myself because I'll get this kind of backlash that guy clearly got on the train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane that, that woman, I mean, it's like, it's like a paternalistic fuckery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like trying to play like the mom, like, the minorities are talking, I have to intervene. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, where the hell were you
when he first started that nonsense?
That's upsetting to me. Not, the guy's gonna fight back when he has a right to.
Exactly. The moment that guy touched him the first time, he had a right. But that guy kept on touching him, and that's when he finally jumped up. And I'm sorry. I agree with everybody in there that was saying the same thing that I thought at the time. She should have stepped back and let that Asian guy clock him, because people are getting tired of this. This
distracted the guy so he could clock him.
Exactly.
Really, this is the thing. It happened on the part. I'm originally from the Bay Area. I spent a lot of time in San Francisco before it was like tech crap now. Anyway, that's another story. But Hate Street's dirty. It's crazy. People are just nuts and just batshit. And the way I learned is you ignore them if they're not doing anything, if they're not assaulting someone, if they're not assaulting you. I mean, they can yell and scream, whatever, and usually it's just, weird stuff. It's nothing like racist or anything. They're not trying to victimize anyone, right?
Exactly.
But at the point where it comes to, like, they're trying to victimize someone or they say something bigoted or racist, that's when you gotta step in and be like, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
At least that's how I was taught. I don't know. But and so in this instance, this qualifies. I mean, old guy just blathering about in the train. Yeah, that happens a lot in the Bay Area. I get that, right? But this dude, like, saying abhorrently racist shit to a Chinese guy and then antagonizing him physically, that's a different category.
Exactly. And the moment I would have seen that, and I'm sorry, some people are like, oh, Tin, you come across as this nice, quiet woman. And yes, I'm quiet. And yeah, I try to treat people the way I am, but I'm from New York. And I don't know how many times I had to step up and speak out when somebody did something wrong. Because that's how I was raised. You don't let somebody insult an elderly person. You don't let somebody insult a person of color just because. And I don't give a crap how crazy somebody is. I'm crazy too. And I'm not about to sit there and let somebody throw out the N-word at anybody. I don't care if it was a black person throwing it at a white person. I don't like that kind of fuckery, and we have to stand up to it if we're going to stop this.
Absolutely. You grew up in a more like urban city environment, so you were around people. You had to get along with people.
Yeah.
So you had to call people out who were assholes, so they didn't. They were an asshole to everyone, right? So it was self-regulating, right?
Yeah.
Or not self-regulating, but it regulated itself, that sort of thing. When you have more rural, bunch of white people, they can all just sit in their houses and, like, be amosexuals with their guns and, and I hate black people and, South will rise again and shit.
They
don't have to hold their ideas against something that is actually, like, real. You know what I mean? Like, they'll talk shit in their little hometown, but put them in the middle of, like the neighborhood you grew up in. I mean, they're not going to talk the same way. You know what I mean? They're just not, because they know that they're in their
they might, because I'm from Staten Island, and anybody from Staten Island can tell you that Staten Island has this racial idiocy. Okay. And I grew up when I was a kid, Crown Heights happened. A lot of the racial tension happened as I was growing up in New York. So, I mean, the bubble lifestyle that people say, liberal coastal cities and stuff, it's real. You do have a melting pot, and people tend to try to get along because, like I said, my next door neighbors in New York were Japanese. They owned the grocery store. My grandparents were black and Indian, and they owned the liquor store. We had the Italian family that owned the fish market. We had a Polish family that owned the dry cleaner. So it was a mixed neighborhood, but racism was still prevalent. And that's what I want people to understand. Cities like New York, yeah, it's a melting pot, but we still had our racist issues. When we moved from one section of Staten Island to another, I had a literal former police detective get arrested because two of his cohorts turned on him when they found out he was going to try to Molotov cocktail my family's house because he didn't want black people in his neighborhood. The neighborhood was majority white, and we got a good deal on the house, so we moved in there. I come home one day to detectives in my house. I'm 14 years old. I don't know why these detectives are here. I never got in trouble, so I was like, okay, what's going on? And they asked me about the neighbor. I'm like, I really don't know him. I would see him working on his car every once in a while. He has ducks that are outside and that used to chase people, I didn't know much about him. To find out this guy who used to be a police officer and a detective at that was plotting to burn my house down because my family's black. That kind of stuff sits with you.
Yeah, that's insane.
It really is. So people acting like these liberal cities don't have racism, wake up call. They do. It's just not as overt as it allegedly is in the South. And I'll flip people's mind even crazier. When I lived in Florida, because I went to Florida to go to school, I lived in a freaking what people would think was just Jerry Springer territory. It was full on redneck. And those people treated me like freaking fam. I was shocked. I was certain that I was in Lynchtown. And I mean, it got to the point where one of my neighbors used to work for Nabisco. And the neighbor that my ex worked for, because they did construction, would come and pick me up in a freaking, what do you call those trucks? Monster truck from work. I remember the look on my manager's face one night, because I was only like 19, 20 when I started dating my ex. And this big ass monster truck picked up, and he told me the next day when I came to work, he goes, I almost didn't let you go in that truck because I seen this itty little black girl getting into this truck with these white guys, and I was like, this didn't look right. But he said, you acted like you knew them, so I let you go with them. I was like, they have been very good to me and protective. I never felt unsafe in that neighborhood. So sometimes you have to break those perceptions of people.
Yeah. Florida, shout out to Florida. The backless Florida crew right on.
Oh yeah.
Nice monster truck. That's it.
It was crazy. I was like, and climbing up into that thing was perilous because I'm only 5'4", and that truck was just, they call them monsters for a reason. But that's why I tell people when they try to come at me with any kind of racism, like that lawyer chick that's supposedly suing us, who tried to go, oh, you're backing your white friends over me. And it's like, boo, I don't know you. I know my friends. Don't come at me with racism because you're going to get your feelings hurt. I won't say that I don't have racism in me. I grew up with grandparents who fought in wars and came back to fuckery. So I've heard stuff about white people that I used to parrot myself. I will never act like I've never said anything racist. I just do better. And if you're trying to pull me down with that crap in the name of solidarity, you can take your solidarity to the side.
Yeah. Now, I remember, I'm a white moderate, right?
Yeah.
That's who I am.
Well, according to Twitter, you're a black Jewish woman who, I mean, they get you wrong so much, and it's always funny to laugh at that.
Yeah. I'm a black Jewish lesbian.
Yeah. Now, we were going to talk about Accusation Nation and the sex scandals, but I really want to wait for getting to get back. So I'm going to jump into the second topic, flip the script a little bit. about the petty ass Twitter stuff. And I'm hoping she jumps in, around the time we get to our personal CCC stuff. But I really want to talk about this Chief Kofifi and the Team Pillar Fort and all this high school clique BS that's been going on social media, especially Twitter, because it's affected a lot of us, and I have to say it, and I mean it. That thread I wrote a couple of days ago, it rings true. When you get into a big group to say, hey, I'm resistance, instead of doing resistance work, this is what happens.
Yeah. When you're simply online doing, and that's your only form of resistance, then you should probably hop offline and go do something that's a little more productive, right?
Stop being a hashtag activist.
Yeah, it's a tool, not an outcome.
Exactly.
That's what a lot of people forget. That's why we're in this kind of mess of gay bros and, the whole big Alaska generation of cucks. It's just like these guys, it's like technology with no humanity, as a teacher, I see that everybody loves STEM now. STEM, science, engineering. It's like, that's great. Technology is great, but you have to do things with it that make humans' lives better. And that's where we're missing it. We're kind of not really using technology the best way.
Yeah.
We're getting so obsessed with the technology itself that we're forgetting to do things that matter. In the same sense that this chief, Protecty boy, and the like. It's like they're so into the technology, so into the resistance and the hashtags, and we got Twitter that it's like you're not doing anything productive. You're actually counterproductive, as a matter of fact. So it really it's keyboard cowboys run amok.
Yeah, we've turned into a nation of Twitter trolls with the king troll Orange Caligula leading us. And it's like, I want people to understand this, especially grown people, because I could see this happening with teenagers, even though not so much of you got parents who are smart enough to tell you to cut that mess out. But this follower mentality that we have. And I mean, not to say having a lot of followers isn't a good thing. You have people that you can share ideas with. But if you're only doing this resistance thing to gain followers, you're a fucker. And I'm calling you out right now. Because the resistance is about getting Trump, Pence, and all the rest of these idiots out of office so they don't tank our democracy. It's about sharing when a bill that's trying to be passed will mess over Americans. It's about telling people, hey, have you called your senator or congressman yet? Hey, there's primaries coming up. Are you helping getting people registered to vote? I can understand using that medium for that and for leisure. Nobody's telling you shouldn't use Twitter for your leisure. But if you're calling yourself resistance and your only claim to fame is how many followers you got, I don't have time for you.
People's egos get really wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
And at least for me, I've really tried to not be like about myself. That's not really why I joined Twitter. If you follow me, you can tell. I'm not out there like, look at me. Like, follow us. I don't care. I've got the accounts.
And there's somebody who
followers. It sucks, but whatever. As long as you and everyone else I care about knows it's me and whatever account I'm on, then that's great. That's all I really need. And I can do my work from there. So. And there's something too, like having a lot of followers if you have a message that's worthwhile and stuff, and I get that. And but like you said, it's not about like the popularity contest of all the followers. It should be about exchanging information, bonding with other people who are like-minded, idea sharing. But like you said, organizing. And
exactly.
It's just a lot of these groups are just. I mean, they're doing good stuff, but it's a lot of times, like you said, it's a lot of high school just nonsense behind the scenes. It's just like the personal drama and ego stroking that goes on is insane. That's why I like our group so much, is because none of us are like that.
No.
When something good happens to one of us, we're all happy.
Exactly. We share and that's what I think kills me about people who try to infiltrate. And I say infiltrate because we are a group of friends. We're not a cult. We're a group of friends who actually know each other. We speak to each other on the regular. These are people that I fully trust, and we share things with each other that most people don't No, and that's the way friendships are. And it always kills me when people who try to get down with us, who know they'll never do it, get mad eventually and like, oh, you're just a group of Twitter people, you don't really know each other. It's like, see, that's where you're wrong. You're the fake fuck, and you're trying to get with our real stuff, and that's why you can't hang with us.
Yeah, exactly, right.
But
it's like our group was kind of forged in the fire.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happening. It was a pretty organic thing. So to say that you know better or this and that, it really is just laughable. It really is.
And what kills me is these cliques always have that mean girl leader, like the one that's accusing us of being a cult. And I cannot wait to just lay her out without using her name, because I know she's listening, and I know some of the other haters are listening because they brought us up a few times. But, you got people like Louise Mensch, who I really did not give a crap about. And I'm going to say it right here. I did not give a crap about her. I did not want to know her. I followed Claude Taylor for like a hot minute until I started really dissecting some of the stuff he tweeted. I was like, this is straight up BS. I'm done with this account. And I followed 20 Committee until I realized that I don't need to follow these so-called right-wingers who I never trump, because it doesn't change their attitude. 20 Committee is another guy who will say bad Trump stuff and people jump on it because he's bad-mouthing Trump. But he's a bad dude. And he says really messed up things about people of color and other things that I can't sit with. I'm not going to follow you just because you hate Trump with me when I know that you also support all the rest of the freaking paternal, misogynistic, anti-LGBT, anti-people of color fuckery. So no, I don't need to follow never Trumpers who still consider themselves conservative when they see the hot mess that the conservative party is.
Yeah, I'm fully with you on that. Yeah, and God, the whole Louise Mensch thing, it's just like I don't know, it's just a lot more complicated than I understand, but yeah, it's just people like that, and just keyboard cowboy types, just people who think that they just gaslight the resistance and they do all this stuff. It's just ridiculous, and people with too much free time on their hands or something. I don't know. It's
all that energy, they could be rallying to get real stuff done. But I put it on the people, and I was not playing in that thread. I said it point blank. I'm 40 years old. Anybody who tries to tone police me, tell me who to block, who to follow, they get gone. And it amazes me that so many people fell for Louise Mensch's BS and block lists. If you are a grown-ass person, you need somebody to tell you who to block and follow on Twitter. Maybe you need some self-reflection. And I was point blank straight up about it. And I don't care if you like me after I said that or you hate me more after I said that. If you're doing the resistance stuff right, you're going to have a lot more haters than likers anyway.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Because you have these, hashtag queens and kings of the keyboard. And if they see people actually doing things, they probably get jealous. That's kind of how it boils down. It's like, oh, they actually are productive, and I wish I was like that. I'm going to try to be like that. And, oh, they don't like me. Oh, now they're cold.
Yeah.
Just
like that. Hobies, that's her new name when we talk about her on this cast. The Hobies, who keeps targeting our friends, who keeps targeting us, who calls us a cult because we're a group of friends who actually work together, make this creative process happen. We've been doing this ongoing for almost 2.5 years now. And we actually really believe in helping not only political awareness, but social awareness and all of this stuff. And she tried to get with us. I mean, I still have the DMs, honey. And I know you're listening. I still have all your crazy DMs. And you like saying things to make it seem like you're down. And a lot of us can see when somebody's being fake. That's why our original group, which started with, I think, almost 12 members?
Something like that,
We're way down from that because we eventually people's true sides come out. And we see who's about the mission of getting awareness out there and who's just about themselves.
Yeah, right.
If
you're here to drunk and flirt with women half your age online, about video games, that's cool, but, like, don't fuck our shit up.
Exactly.
Don't compromise our shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's just, I mean, and that's fine, but, like I said, it's just, like, people just don't understand what actually doing something is, you know what I mean? What actually, scaring the people who are online who should be scared and the racist assholes, like, possibly finding out their personal information. I don't know. We've never done that. But,
No, exactly.
You gotta make these people scared, like, and do things that are impactful in your real life and use online time to kind of, for me at least, it's like it recharges my batteries. I love talking with everybody and issues and informing myself and, getting ideas about, that would be a good thing to teach and all these sorts of things. It's like my business is getting this.
And I don't call followers minions. I don't call followers groupies, because what is that? What do you think, you're Twitter famous? What bothers me about that whole mentality of calling, especially UI and Panther, cult leaders, as I've seen the DMs. So anybody trying to deny it at this point, just stop yourself. I've seen the cult nonsense enough to know who's responsible for it, who's spreading it. Let me tell you right now, you can go back to all of my tweets. I joined Twitter in 2012. I have not once told anybody how they should tweet. I've not once told anybody who they could talk to, and neither has Panther, and neither has Zwerg. We don't have time for that. We have gone after racists constantly. We have gone after dumb politicians, dumb celebrities like Chuck Woolery's dumbass. And what is it with white people lately, especially old has-been white actors, jumping onto this racist bandwagon to make themselves relevant? Oh, I can't with that nonsense. But you cannot.
Sorry about that. Yeah. My dad, James Woods, he's always...
James Woods is a hot mess. He's a mess.
Dad's a mess. He is. He really is. He needs to get help.
It's like, I want them to really come correct with that cult nonsense, because if we had a cult, things would get done. If I'm going to have people following me and follow mentality like that, we're going to get Trump out of the White House, because that would be the goal of our cult if we had one.
Yeah, if we had a cult, no, exactly. Yeah, it's just like you said, the prompt, it really is just high school nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These people get worked up for months, and it's like, I've thought about that person. A month later, it's like, they're back. They're still mad.
Yeah.
It's
like, why are you so mad? We moved on.
Yeah. It's like a jilted lover or something. It's just ridiculous. Yeah.
And I will say, their hate motivated me to get.
We had to bring out people's real side. I feel
like.
It's like, are you really about it? Oh, you're not. Okay. Oh, it's our fault now.
I mean, that one lady who just, why even have my name in your mouth? Out of all the members of our friends, I'm the most visible. I am not anonymous. I don't have the repercussions some of you guys have, because I base a lot of my living off of my faith. When people hire me to do writing projects, they have to know that's a real person and not just, my old gamer tag. So, I put myself out there. But to bring my name up and spell my name wrong, Kiwi lady.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be racist, Kiwi lady, because that's your name on here. That's who I'm going to refer to you. And then call the wrong member of our friends me. Means you think about me way more than I think about you. Because when you were standing for the fake lawyer lady, I got rid of your butt. So it must have made you that mad.
After us was to defend her friend or whatever.
She's a full-on stan.
And that friend doesn't like her anymore. She's still doing the same stuff. It's like, you're psycho.
Yes.
Psycho, give it up.
Give it up, but they just can't. They can't do it because this is their lives. This is their lives. It's like, I can't even envy that mess. Because my life might not always be 100% together, but I have a loving family. I have you guys, my loving friends that like my family. I ain't got time for that nonsense.
It's really ridiculous.
If I'm getting petty with Trump supporters. I'm getting petty with stupid celebrities that say stupid things. I don't have time to worry about some schmo overseas or in this country that I'm not even going to think about in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Snapping at me,
It's so sad.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad.
And
Yeah,
I know a lot of us met, via Talib's timeline because he's real. And that's how I base a lot of my Twitter. I like interacting with people. Whether I'm telling off a racist or whether I'm speaking with people who I feel are like-minded, I try to interact with anybody who messages me,
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't get back to people for a bit because, yeah, I do have a life. I got work that I have to get done. I'm trying to finish my novel and stuff. So, yeah, I'm a busy woman, but I interact with people on Twitter like Talib did. And I'll tell people in a heartbeat, if I catch you effing around and I see what you do and I don't like it, I'm going to unfollow and forget you too. So we had this other lady trying to pull us all into this drama because she was starting to cap for white supremacists. And you could tell the person that she was capping for is a straight up white supremacist, including posting a picture of a black guy with a Nazi symbol tattooed on his chest. So when you see that and you say, oh, I don't see any signs of white supremacy on that guy's site, you're purposely being blind. And I had a feeling in the back of my mind about this woman a while ago because she was one of those types that had to keep letting people know about her husband's ethnicity. And most of y'all know that CCC is a mixed bag of people, but I'm in an interracial relationship too. I don't bring up my significant other's race because it doesn't matter. But people seem to come at me all the time with that, and it always sets off red flags for me because who cares?
Yeah, right.
Honestly, it does not get you out of racism free.
Not at all.
In fact, most interracial couples deal with racism on both sides. I don't know how many times my family has said, you couldn't find a black guy? Straight up, to both of us. And his side of the family is the same. They were very uncomfortable with us for a long time. They've gotten a bit better because they see we're not going anywhere. But to act like there's no racism because you're in an interracial relationship is straight up bullshit.
Yeah.
We deal with it a lot.
God, that woman. Yeah, and the whole, I haven't fed my kids a proper meal in 5 days tweet. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I tried to ignore her, but I muted the thread that I was unceremoniously pulled into because she's coming off like she's like this thing. Well, I don't care what people think about me. I'm still doing me and I'm doing all this stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing except living your life on Twitter?
Yeah, it's all, like you said, it's people's ego gets so wrapped up in what they do online, it's not put in the proper context.
It's not.
Like you say, technology is a tool, it's not an outcome, and to think it's an outcome is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I hashtagged it, we win. It's like, no.
What the heck did you win? I don't get that. And what kills me is these people looking for validation on Twitter. I'm going to tell you right now, I've lived this my whole life. I do not need validation from strangers. I don't. You're not going to have me listing my do's, my don'ts. You can find out enough about me. I'm not anonymous. I know people are stalking my LinkedIn because LinkedIn lets me know when people go and visit my site. I know when people visit my Facebook profile. I've rejected a lot of new Facebook stuff because I don't really fuck with Facebook anymore. Not since I found out they're being paid in rupees. But let's get this clear. Like that whole beast who was like, well, I do this. What do you do for the resistance? It's like, I'm not here to list what I do for the resistance. I'm here to be the fucking resistance.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a verb. It's not you gotta do it.
I'm not the type of person that would go to a protest just to take a picture of myself at the protest. That's the problem with people nowadays.
Yeah.
You brought this up a couple of months ago when we talked about it.
Yeah, right. I've been to several protests, and I don't think I posted any on Twitter.
No.
That would be anonymous. That would be very smart. But you get my point. It's like, I'm not here for the ego stroke. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm here to get shit done. You think that's cool? Great. Follow me. Let's go. Let's do stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, what have you done? Well, what are your things? I mean, it's one thing if, like, like I know quality fights people and they question all the time. That's different. It's like a public figure and all that sort of thing. But it's like, person to person, it's not how people talk to each other.
No. And
It's
even when he responds to those fuckers and he lets them know the real, he's not bragging because he doesn't need to brag.
Yeah.
His stuff is out there.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. I'm not on here to brag about what I've done or what I'm supposedly doing. I'm here to make people aware of what's going on. I'm here to sometimes entertain people because some people find the realness that I bring entertainment. And I like that. I would never pretend like I don't appreciate followers who love the stories I share. But it ain't about me. It's about the whole. It's like what I said about voting, that poem I wrote about voting, how I put not just my needs, but the needs of my neighbors and my family and people beyond when I cast that ballot, because it's the truth. When you do for others, it really does help enrich the whole country. And I wish more people would get into that mentality. And there's been a real attitude and backlash against people who are saying, we need to elevate black women. And a lot of these white women who got their feelings hurt, and I'm calling yours out. Because once again, 53% of you in that Virginia race were going to vote for straight up racist over the guy who's trying to freaking unite Virginia after the Charlottesville stuff. So white women, you need to get on your sister girls. All right? Enough trying to back up us black women. We don't need you. We've been working it for a very long time. We need you to get on your sister girls who are still stuck in that Stepford wife mentality. Because it's getting tiring.
Yeah, that's the other thing about white people. It's like you should definitely speak to other white people and inform them of this. Have uncomfortable conversations with your friends and family. You know what I mean? That's basically what it boils down to. Like I made a comment earlier. It's like I'm not going to go to court the white working class because I don't live around that very much. You know what I mean? I'm in California. I mean, we do have a white working class, but that's not what they're talking about. Right? They're talking about middle America, that sort of thing. But yeah, like that's what I do. I've lost friends over it. That's fine. I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm old enough to where that doesn't bother me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you really want to make this an issue and you think that you're in the right, that's fine. Bye. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm cool
Peace
with
out.
That. That's totally fine because it's kind of my whole approach to life is about justice and equality and education, all those sorts of things. So if you don't value that, that's fine, but I don't need you.
Exactly. Don't need you in my life.
For God's sake. So it's like I'm not gonna pretend that I don't do what I do and have the passion that I have just in front of you so you can feel comfortable. I'm sorry, that's just not gonna happen.
Exactly.
And I try not to alienate people, make them think that people are anti-racist or asshole. I mean, I'm kind of an asshole, but
I'm a bitch. I tell people all the time, you have to be when you're confronting this kind of stuff on the regular. This is not the passive people.
Yeah. Being an asshole helps calling out people in public.
Yes.
Because it's good though.
It is. Well, at least we're channeling it to combat the stupidness. And what bothers me about people, especially people who come to tone police me and say, oh, you shouldn't say this, or not all white people, or whataboutisms. You don't understand that this has been my life for 40 years. 40 years of fuckery in this country because people look at my color before they look at me as a person. So yeah, I come across as angry. Yeah, I speak my mind and I'm frank about it. But I also try to balance that because I do realize that not all white people are stupid ass racists. I can't be all white people are stupid ass racists because I have white people in my family that aren't stupid ass racists. So I know they exist. I have friends who, like I said, are my family who are not stupid ass racists. But they don't give all the rest of y'all a pass. Because even if you're not a sheet-wearing KKK thumping member, you are helping keep the struggle alive for many marginalized folks by being passive about this bullshit.
Absolutely.
And it's got to stop. And
it's kind of like the default setting on stuff. The default setting on white people is, not necessarily overtly racist, like you said, sheet-wearing KKK thing. It's kind of the insidiousness of the white fragility. Think of it that way. It's like that woman who stopped that on the train, stopped the Chinese guy from fighting back. That's the kind of insidiousness. It's a lot more nuanced than just plain, overt racism.
Yeah.
It's white people have to take an active role and they have to inform themselves because the default setting among all white people is that sort of, covertly racist, participate, and maybe you don't even know you are because it's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
If that's the way it is, then you need to be informed that it's not a good way to be and you should be do things differently, right?
And that's why so many play victims now, because they don't like the fact that the spotlight is being shined on the passiveness and how they help promote a lot of this hate. How they allow, the jokes and how they allow the institutionalized racism via how they vote, who they hang out with, and who they tout. And it bothers me that so many will still turn to people who speak out and to women of color, especially on social media, talking about, this is not fair. No, what's not fair is that you waste your time tweeting at me this bullshit instead of tweeting at your peeps.
Yeah, no, absolutely, right? Absolutely. God, and I just saw an article headline. It's by some conservative, and I think the op-ed piece he says, why young conservatives should be a protected class. And I was just like, you're fucking kidding me.
Exactly.
It's like this, and like I remember reading something about, like when Trump was elected president, a lot of these young white conservatives like, oh, I shouldn't, I was afraid when Obama was elected to go outside because it's like, what are you afraid of?
What are you afraid of?
Yeah, like inequality.
Or like Tommy Lauren's dumbass, I won't apologize for being white. Nobody asked you. You have a whole laundry list of stuff you should be apologizing for. And being white's like being a dumb, bleach blonde. There's plenty you should be sorry for, hun. It ain't about you being white. Y'all are making it about you being white.
There's a victim. It's just like, it's like it's the same reason if these people were black, they wouldn't last 5 seconds.
No.
Kind of a hypothetical, but you get my point. It's like when they feel that they've been slighted, even in actuality they're not, they go completely indignant.
Yeah.
Well, you're just supposed to grin and bear, historically based institutional and structural inequities. You're just supposed to, everybody's, rugged individualism, bootstraps, fingers so like it's so pervasive that you question it logically and it's easy to break down, but after that, these people are just so stupid, and they keep doubling down, and then they vote for a freaking pedophile. I mean, this is my point. They will defend the ideology and dig themselves as big a hole as they need to, because everybody else also is digging that hole. So why would they stop?
Exactly.
That's kind of the thing.
It's one of the reasons why I'm so upset that Diverse Voices Nation is down right now, and I might move that one blog post that I put to daily cost, because I've been writing pieces on that too. I wrote about this one white lady who was sincere when she came to me here, because I do advocacy work. She was like, I was told that the best way to be politically and socially aware is to follow a black woman, have black women friends, and you try not to get offended by that. And the geek in me was like, I'm not your Princess Leia, just stop. And I was real with her. I said, you gotta understand that's not about having black friends. It's about what you and your friends discuss. I said, you need to sit down with your white friends, because I'm pretty sure you have all white girlfriends, and talk about the paternalistic fuckery you go on about. And talk about the stuff that isn't right. I said, you're so worried about my plight when y'all are in the same boat, whether you like it or not. You might have a little bit of a social cushion when it comes to your skin color, but white women get fucked over a lot by white men. And you should be just as angry as I am.
Yeah. It's the interesting thing is white women, they have a much greater access to the sort of power structure, the patriarchal power structure. You have women, that's why you have like Janine Pirro and all these like women who are, prominent, but it's like they basically, they advocate what white men advocate.
Yeah, they're accessory pieces. They're like pieces of jewelry, basically.
Exactly. So just like, that response is always ridiculous. But white women have access to that power structure, so it's kind of another privilege they have that they should be taking seriously to inform other people to make it more equitable.
and I say this all the time to white women who follow me and they DM me and stuff, how can I be a better ally? You can listen and you can speak up to people that I can't reach. Those are the two best things. If you're listening to this and you really want to be an ally, listen to us. Don't deny our true existence, because if I tell you that stuff is effed up for me, even though I know I have it better than most African Americans have had it growing up and stuff, because my family did have that financial backing. And I learned a lot of things, and that's how I run my household. But don't use me as it's getting better for black people. Just like I got mad when people tried to use the Obamas as it's bad for black people. Because there are black, white, Hispanic, Asian, a lot of Americans who are not living a good life right now, and they don't have a voice. And part of my waking up was, as a youth, I didn't look at that. I thought because I had a good life that everybody should have been able to have a good life. That was some of my bullshit that I had to get over, you know? And because of the racism that I faced from not only white people, but black people, because people don't understand this, black people can be racist, especially against other black people. If you're too dark, if your hair's too good, if your hair is not good enough. We have a whole bunch of internal fuckery that we deal with on a regular basis as black people. We have the self-haters. We have the people who they don't even know what they want to be. Okay? I don't know how many times I got told as a child to stop acting white. And I'm like, what the heck do you mean by acting white? And I'm acting like me. So people have to understand that we have enough of our own internal problems. You fix your stuff, let me fix mine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not, and that's the thing. It's always like, black people like this, that, you guys have your own problems. It's like, you're not saying that from a place of concern. A lot of times, the people I talk to, racist people, you're not saying, the people aren't saying that out of a place of concern. They're saying, it's like, look at how horrible you are. You know what I mean? As a people, like, that's what they're trying to communicate.
They bring up black on black crime all this time, and I'm like, I don't own black on black crime. None of my family are criminals. Why are you bringing that at me?
Yeah, and not to mention, I mean, it's a total fallacious argument.
Yeah, or the people who say nonsense like, go back to your country. You mean this country?
Yeah.
Because my family's Iroquois and black. We belong here. The president's wife can go back to her Estonia or wherever the heck she's from. I'm 6th generation American, mofos.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. And God, it's like that. Go back to everything's the stupidest fucking thing, because it's like oh yeah, because we totally have all the culture that we brought over from there, and you guys let us keep it, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's stupid as fucking argument. I mean, these arguments are really fucking stupid.
It is.
But it's just, if you give them to the wrong people, obviously, the stupid white people, hey, yeah, no, I feel that way too. Rush Limbaugh's.
Yeah.
Rush Limbaugh's fan. I mean, we're witnessing the next generation.
Rush Limbaugh, Alex Jones, evangelical Christianity, and I'm calling you out because you are the worst. You radicalize this nonsense. Y'all want to talk about ISIS, and ISIS is a horrible extremist group, but they don't represent all Muslims. So when you got these Hannitys and Joneses and Limbaughs and Fox Entertainment Channel, because I refuse to call them news, and evangelical Christians who are preaching this hate from the pulpit, and you ask how we get shooters like the Las Vegas shooter, and you ask how we get the Dylan Roofs, and all of these people who go on these tangents and hurt other Americans, stop it. And then you still refuse to call them terrorists because their skin's not brown. That nonsense got to stop too.
I saw an infographic. It was about white evangelicals and their tolerance of immoral behavior as a condition to be fit for office. And I forget when it started. Like, I want to say like 2000. They took the poll like 2000 or something like that. And white evangelicals was kind of high, like 70-some%. Like, really, I'm forgetting the figures, but it was really. Or no, here's what it was. 30% of them thought it was like okay if you had like an infidelity or something that would be considered immoral. They thought that's okay. You can still be run for office, right? For political office. They don't really do help. Only 30% of white evangelicals, so 70% said no. That precludes you. You're immoral. You're not pure enough. You're out. Fast forward to now, they went from being the most like that. Now it's flipped. Now like 70-some% says, oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, which is higher than Catholics, Protestants. I mean, you name it. You know, any other group, and all the other groups are relatively, they don't change much. They you know, they went down a little bit even, right?
Yeah.
But not the white evangelicals.
No.
Now all of a sudden it's okay to be a pedophile. That's funny how that happens, right? You know,
Yeah.
it's like all of a sudden one of the people who represents us is accused of being a horrible person, and now we're okay with that action.
And I'm sorry.
But Pizzagate, guys. But Pizzagate,
Yeah.
guys. But Pizzagate.
Exactly.
And Harvey Weinstein, because he's in political office, right? Which is the horrible thing, but he's not running for political office.
No,
I mean,
he's not.
like,
And there's been like consequences for him.
You know, it's like, yes, Clinton is a philanderer. He's not running for political office. You know?
No. And Clinton was impeached. He had investigations by Ken Starr. And like I told this brother before I unfollowed and forget him, because he needed more than Mika. And I'm going to get to that about needing news personalities to make your decisions for you. But he was going on about how, you know, tribalism in the democracy, which is bullshit because there ain't no tribalism. I wish we were a tribe because then we'd be kicking the right wing's ass. But he was like, the tribalism, Bill Clinton needs to apologize. Bill Clinton, the only person he needs to apologize to completely is Hillary. Because she's the one he messed up over and disrespected. Okay? Enough. I'm tired of hearing about the Clintons. And if I was Hillary, if they keep bringing my name in their mouths, I would form my own party and then really mess with them. Because I'm at the point where she does that, I'm hopping right on board.
Exactly. If he couldn't, he already dealt with it. Like, it was already adjudicated, right? However you want to put it, processed by society and the legal system and everything. Trump's just skating free on all this stuff.
Exactly. Every single rumor about the Clintons has been debunked as garbage. Every single fact about Trump is ignored. And I'm sorry, if the Clintons were these super powerful, corrupt group, she'd be president right now.
It's just it's just a tactic. It's exploiting stupid people.
Yeah.
The Republican Party is really good at doing that.
And this tax bill they're trying to introduce is going to make it worse because it's already hard to pay for school. I was going to go back to college because I really wanted to get a degree in design and stuff so that I could start learning animation because, you know, it's my dream to get some of my stories out there. You've seen some of the stuff that I put in the chat. I have all these ideas that I really want to get put out there, but I don't have the money to pay the artist for it. And I don't believe in having artists work for free because I know how that feels. I'm constantly being told, let's get you writing for exposure. And exposure don't pay my bills. So I won't do that to an artist. I just can't. I wouldn't feel right about not being able to pay them for their work. But with this new bill, they're going to make it impossible for even middle-class families to afford college. And that is part of their strategy. Keep them stupid and keep themselves in power. And I'm sorry. Elites are not that bright, and they know they can buy their degrees. Because you know for a fact that Trump did not earn that Walden degree. Did you see his latest tweet about People magazine? Does he not know how to put words together without it looking like gibberish?
Yeah, I mean, he has savvy and like all the business, like all this stuff, which is I don't really think very good qualities.
No, I don't think he's business savvy either.
Like he's really not.
No.
He's just an asshole, and it's like he's a commercial like caricature.
Is a hustler, and I've been saying this since I lived in New York, and even in Florida, he's a hustler. He is not a smart man. You don't bankrupt casinos. You don't go into bankruptcy 4 freaking times, and he owes $1 million in offshore loans. Why? Because he can't get a line of credit in his own country. How many presidents do you know historically could say they can't get a line of credit in their own daggone country?
Yeah, that's right. No, absolutely. It's really.
As,
you know how we got here, I don't know. And
as far as I'm concerned, he is the first ghetto president, and I don't care whose feelings I hurt with that.
No,
he is ghetto. 3 babies, mamas, 5 kids, constantly macking on people. Don't pay his bills. You got people still suing him for stuff he ain't paid. And he owes people money, and that's why he keeps messing around with China and stuff.
Yeah. He really is shameless.
Yeah.
Shameless carnival barker is what he is. Yeah, it's completely insane. And like we were talking about those sort of never Trump Republicans, Anna Navarro's, Rick Wilson's of the world. Like, I mean, they're bright people. They have some good ideas, but Rick Wilson posted something about like racism's overused, the word racism's overused, and Republicans are really need to work on not being racist. But we're really not that racist.
Yeah.
It's just like it's such an apology.
Pushed that op-ed piece. I think it was in the New York Times. This guy was lamenting about how, don't equate the GOP, the Republicans, with racism. And it's like, dude, own your shit. You can't pull that anymore.
It's fucking insane. Like, yeah, and like, and like when they talk about, I can't wait to get back to the real Republican values, and like, okay, what? Like, what are we talking about?
You mean just keeping your hate in the closet? Because look at the makeup of the party.
Yeah, like corporate welfare and upper class investment.
Yeah.
Like, giving rich people this who you want, because your whole platform sucks.
Yes.
In my opinion, it's for elites, and it worked out for a time, and it's insane that they think that they can just say, oh yeah, no, we have some problems, but we really aren't, or this and that. It's just like,
no, you've always been this way. When you look at the Republican Party, and I know they have a little section of Republicans who aren't white men, and I'm not even going to say straight white men, because a lot of you dudes are getting busted with other dudes lately. So let's get real on that, you LGBT haters. There are a lot of gay Republicans out there. But, you say that this isn't about you, but when you look at your party, when you look at the frontliners for your party, your Mitch McConnells, your Ryans, and all of these guys, they're all the same. Mediocre white guys who knew how to play the fear politics game, and that's how they got into power. And they know that the donors have their back. These are not the voices of America. And when you say things like white working class, you really push that narrative. You might get Joe Rust Belt and Redneck Rebecca on your side, but you alienate a large majority of the people who make this country run. Because the American working class comes in all ethnic backgrounds. And I keep pushing that.
Yeah, is that political bravery to coddle people who have not great lives but okay lives, or is it political bravery to stand up for people who are just asking for basic humanity and dignity?
Exactly.
It's politically cowardly.
And
they're all just turned into political cowards, really. And that's just the way it is.
And Democrats, too. I'm telling you right now, the first Democrat that finally starts stepping up and saying enough of the BS. I don't want to hear nothing about Clintons. I don't want to hear nothing about Obama. We need to get focused on this mess. I don't care who they are at this point. The moment somebody gets the balls to step up and say enough's enough and no more Bernie Sanders bullshit, that's who I'm going to be backing. Because I am so tired of the Dems without the backbone.
That's the thing, is they could be out there. I mean, you got to play the game how it goes, and it's a dirty game right now. So get the fuck out there and do something.
Y'all are still talking about the primaries from last year. Do you realize that we have a guy with the nuclear codes that can't even spell coffee? Kofifi? What the heck was that? And you're worried about the primaries?
It's all bad. But like it's just like you have to actually stand up for what you say you believe in, otherwise you really don't really believe it at all.
Exactly.
That's kind of
and if you're going to be a politician that's supposed to represent this country, you need to be willing to represent all of us, even the people that you know don't have your back. And that's the problem I have with the Republican Party in whole. They don't care about the majority of America. If they don't look like them, if they don't pray like them, if they don't act like them, we don't exist to them. We're freeloaders to them. They dismiss us. And it's like, you know what? I pay taxes too. I do everything I can to keep my house running. And I deserve the same respect as some Joe, no offense to the Joes out there, but some Joe in Idaho, because they think his economic anxiety is a bit more important than my economic anxiety. Because I've got a kid who's going to be going to college in a few years, and I want to be able to afford to do that.
Yeah, and it's coddling, white people's emotions on the fringes of stuff, or actually doing substantive things for society that make the world better, the country better, and that sort of thing. Republicans are really good at just picking these fringe issues and making it seem like that's the only thing that matters, where like we have a country to run,
Yeah.
So they don't know how to govern. They really don't. They truly do not. They've lost the ability to govern. And as much as I fucking hate Ronald Reagan, I mean, he did get whatever stuff he wanted done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, that's the thing. Going back to the Rick Rosa, we need to get back to being like the real GOP. It's like when Reagan slashed worker protections and made it
where he fired all of those air traffic workers because they went on strike for better wages, when people were living in their cars because trickle down didn't work for anybody.
It's all just a big fucking show.
I
got these great ideas, it's gonna fix the world, and it makes it better for rich white people. Oh, I got this great idea, it's gonna fix the world. It makes it better for rich white people.
There's a thing circulating on Twitter right now, this conference that they have with all these wealthy white CEOs, and they ask them, will this new tax bill mean you make better jobs? Raise your hands. 2 guys out of a crowd of them raised their hands. And the guy from the Wall Street Journal was like, really? That's it?
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know about trickle down. Trickle down does not mean because these guys who are already more wealthy than they know how to do it is all of a sudden going to be benevolent. It doesn't make socially conscious wealthy people.
Wages are stagnant, and all this extra wealth that's accumulated in the last 30 years, it's gone toward the investment class.
Yeah.
Which is rich people, namely, and it's insane, like they say, oh, we'll get tax cuts to the businesses so they can create more jobs. That's their whole thing, right? That's not what happens. That's not what happens when companies get revenue they didn't expect, or windfall, whatever, something like this happens. They take that money and they give it to their shareholders. They enrich their shareholders.
And they keep that money in their circles.
Yeah, exactly. In the investment class, right? Whereas what they see, they're going to create jobs. They're not going to take that money and build a factory and do that, right? Because it's like all of their whole business is very much figured out what's going to go on a year from now. So if they get this extra money, it's just going to enrich their business, not what they're going to do, their strategy, their growth strategy, etc. Right?
Exactly.
So I mean, there's no rule that says they have to do that. I mean, it's a business. It does what it wants to make money. There's rules they have to follow, but it's capitalism. I mean, there's no rule that says they have to take a tax break and create jobs and reinvest in the people. It's like, no, I have an idea. Why don't we keep that fucking money and then we create jobs, or we do something that enhances people's lives with that money? But we're going to give it to rich companies so they can make their companies richer, and that's what's going to happen if this passes. I know for a fact that will. You might have some companies say, "Oh, look at us, we can create jobs now because we have 620." It's all a fucking show. That would just be for pub.
Yeah.
They're going to spend more. They're going to spend more promoting that they did that than on the actual what they're doing. I mean, this is how the world works now.
Exactly.
So it's insane to think that you're going to create more jobs. The people who are telling you it's going to create more jobs are the rich. They represent the rich, wealthy, moneyed interests.
It's all PR spin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane that these people vote against their own interests.
Because they know that they reach out to certain people who don't research, don't want to think for themselves. They need talk show personalities and news personalities to give them their mentality. They don't want to think for themselves. And that's the sad reason why this country is going to keep tanking. We are hurtling towards tanking because people don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to research for themselves. They're constantly, they need that groupthink mentality, and it's going to defeat us because of that. And what bothers me the most about this tax bill, about net neutrality, is how they're not keeping it simple with the explanation, especially net neutrality, because that's a big topic right now too, because it's going to fuck over a lot of people if Anjab Patel, I think his name is, gets his way. And there's like, the free internet. No, explain it to the dumb people who obviously don't get that they're not going to be able to download their booby pictures the way they used to. that they're not going to be able to troll on the interwebs the way they used to. You've got to keep it simple, stupid for people. Understand that net neutrality needs to be saved so that these companies who are already monopolizing cable, why do you think so many of us just stream now? Because I don't want to pay a $300 freaking cable bill. I can only imagine how worse it'll get when they can do internet packages on top of that.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
Growing up in the 90s where we had like so many different internet companies that you could pick from, and you actually have free companies, to now where we are, where you'll be lucky if you can find a decent price internet package. It's ridiculous that anybody's not taking this more serious.
Yeah, it really, I mean, I saw Cernovich promoting net neutrality. I mean, I don't agree with Cernovich on much, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like, all you little right-wing troll weirdos, you won't be able to go online.
Exactly.
So, you can't post out of your wife's parents' house anymore, Cernovich. You have to pay them. So, it's
exactly. That's why people have to.
Yeah, that's what it takes to actually get something done. Okay, cool, start there. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna be friends with the guy. But
exactly.
It really is that important. I mean, it's insane. I saw somebody from New Zealand. I guess they don't have net neutrality, and it's they did a screenshot of you have to pay for a social media thing and all. It's insane.
Yeah, and it helps hurt the people they don't want with access to information. And even though it circles back to what we said earlier about how people don't use technology as a tool of information, it'll make it worse.
Absolutely.
Because schools now depend, this because of your job, they depend on kids having access to the internet to do work, to research. And now can you imagine some of the kids that this is really going to harshly affect?
Yeah, I mean, all this, we need technology in school, and this comes around, it really throws a whole fucking wrench in the whole thing. It really does.
Getting jobs. I mean, I don't know any job that I've applied in for the last 5 years that did not require online access at all.
It really is. It really is in bad form all around,
Yeah.
I mean, some people will make more money, but the effect, hopefully it's such a horrible thing for so many people that it'll get a momentum to move against it. But God, it's just, all this shit's just so fucking evil these days.
It is.
I mean, in a way, I'm glad they're not guising it. It's easy to see evil nowadays because it's so open about it.
The only way to confront it is to see it.
Yeah, exactly. So in that sense, it's a good thing. But we need to now, get up and fight it like hell.
Exactly. That's the whole basic premise. Now, I don't know what's going on with Panther. I know she's stuck in traffic. We may have to do the second half of the show either tomorrow or whatnot, because I know she really wants to get in on this. And I know that you got family stuff coming up too.
I do.
So it's like I said, I'm just glad to get this popping though, because I've been wanting to seriously get this done for a while. And I know she wants back in, but we might get ready to wrap up, and there was so much that we didn't get to touch on that we definitely have enough for another half. So, if you're not busy tomorrow or whatnot, and she's not busy, maybe we can get the second half of the show done. But,
Even if I'm busy, you guys should definitely go ahead and do it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So, plan on that. I'll see if I can swing it. But, I got family stuff going on. But, great show. Good.
It was.
Back on the chat it up. That's good.
Yeah, all I got to do is get it condensed on and get it up on our YouTube site, and we will be up on our CCC SJW Twitter feed soon, and that's where we're going to launch the show for now until I get a better host for Diverse Voices Nation, and then hopefully we can integrate the cast there.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
That's a plan.
But Zwerg, definitely thank you for, being you. I'm not going to thank you for this because this is what we do.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Likewise, Ty, I'm really glad that we're friends. This is a good thing, and it's good to be back and see your face and to hear from you. It's really good.
It really is. And like I said, it's just the two of us right now, but we have a crew of people that really are passionate about this, and hopefully as we do more shows, you'll get to see, just how we think, and we don't always agree on stuff. And I think people have to understand that we're individual people. We're not a cult. We just happen to be lucky enough to find each other, and our personalities gel. And when you get that kind of fortune, you're gonna stick with it. So to all of those who are hating on us because our friendship is enduring this, be real, and maybe you'll find it too.
Yeah, there's some advice. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't agree on everything. And the thing is if we don't agree, but we also know that the other person is coming from a good place, and they care, and they're informed, and they're knowledgeable, and that sort of thing. It's not. So with me, it's like even doing disagreements. I mean, almost kind of fun in a way, because it's like you get to hear a different side of things. And
Exactly.
It's not like you're wrong, and I know that you're an a-hole, and this comes from this shitty place.
Yeah.
I respect everybody.
I mean, look at our dear departed friend Chris. His death rocked us. I still cry sometimes about it. And the thing is, he even knew. Sometimes me and him would butt heads on stuff because he grew up one way and I grew up another. But we always respected each other, and we were willing to listen to each other. And he opened up my mind on certain things that I used to be very closed-minded about, and I opened up his mind on things, And that's what I loved about Chris, because he didn't back down, but he was willing to listen and learn.
Absolutely, yeah. I miss that guy.
So do I. And I think people have to understand that, they're and we don't always all hang out. Either some CCC members, get on my nerves. And they know they get on my nerves because I tell them they get on my nerves. So they don't hang out in the real inner circle sometimes too, but they know that we got their back.
Absolutely.
100%. So
I
I wanted to put that out there because, the groupthink mentality's got to stop. And if you think we're a cult, if you're hanging out with us because you think we're just like these cool kids that you want to hang out with, just stop.
Yeah.
Because at some point we're going to probably hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Because we don't pull punches with each other, so we're not going to pull punches with you.
Bingo.
But we'll wrap up this part. Hopefully once Panther gets it together, we'll either do the second half ourselves, or we'll try to get it tomorrow. And if you could pop in just to say hi, but the gang is definitely back together.
Absolutely. Yeah, just make a time. You guys set it up, and then I'll see if I can get in. Let me know.
And give your little ones a hug from me. I will. I'm telling you, one of these days we're gonna come out and visit you.
Absolutely, that'd be great. That would be cool.
I want Kiddo to definitely hang out with you. He thinks you're cool.
Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah, we got Disneyland out here.
Yeah. And this guy get my frightened boyfriend on a plane. He don't like planes. He drives 13 hours back and forth. It's like, are you crazy? I get on a plane. I'm not playing that nonsense.
Yeah, well, you might have to visit the doctor and get some pills or something.
I ain't getting in no car for the amount of hours it take to get to Cali. There ain't no way.
Not a car ride.
He and I would be broke up by that time because I can't.
Time with somebody in that small space.
Nope.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
And I'll be on my list, so we'll chat it up.
All right. I'll talk to you later, dear.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. We're going to wrap up this first half. And like I said, Panther's still in traffic. So right now, what I'm thinking is I will do a brief interlude. And then once she's available, we'll take the second half. But I am definitely going to let Panther have her chance to, do her thing, because she has been waiting for months along with the rest of us for me to get things together and get the recording stuff set up again. And I am not going to deny her. So I'm not going to say this is the end right now until I know where she's at. I will be back in the few. Enjoy this brief interlude.
No
And we are back with the second half, and I got a surprise up because I did not plan for this. I am very excited still. Lefty overheard that we were getting the cast back together, and he finally got my messages. And after threatening to cut me, he is going to join in for a bit. And hopefully we can get this second half gelling because I am super excited to have both Panther and Lefty in on this part. I'm going to just get us started. Take it away. All right. Welcome back to the second half. We've got both Lefty and Panther Goddess here. We're going to get some sound issues worked out while we're taping this second half. But we were talking about the Twitter cult mentality earlier with Zwerg and I, and some of the issues we've been having the last couple of months. And what I was telling Lefty to get him caught up, because like all of us, we have lives, and we were away for a bit. And while I was in the hospital, a lot of this stuff was cooking. So the story is, Lefty, this is from what I've seen from the hospital bed. There's this woman, I'll call her Psycho Hobies, who wanted to get with another friend of ours. A very happily married friend. Just had a baby, too. Congrats to you, hon. That person rejected her, and another friend who she assumed that this friend was dating, who she's very jealous of, sparked this like demented hatred. Now this person used to DM me all the time, and I could tell she was phony, but I was nice to her because I had no reason to hate on her. And while I was at the hospital and stuff, I watched all this stuff pop, and then I find out she blocked me. And then I found out she blocked Meg. She blocked everybody with the CCC hashtag. So I'm trying to find out what's going on with that. Why would she block all of us? And I come to find out the real story. She flirted with Ja, and Ja didn't want her. She thought Demi Goddess was flirting with Ja, and she's jealous of Demi Goddess. So she launches this tirade about how we're a cult. And that's been ongoing. Then on the other side, we have Miss Laugh Out Loud Lawyer, who swears that Ja and Zwerg were doxing her. Which these guys don't got time for that. But she swears up and down. Her best stan, Kiwi, decided to jump in on the conversation and start mess with us too. And I'm still sitting here like Panther, what the hell does that have to do with us two? We ain't involved in this. These are our actual friends that you're trying to blame for stuff, but you're trying to pull us in thinking we're going to side with you against people we actually know. So I told the lawyer lady to go F herself because I didn't know her. Found out she had a ton of alts following me, and I still don't know if I got rid of all of them. Her friend Kiwi got the talk to the hand. I unfollowed and forgot about her. Yeah, she's still bringing up my name in the conversation and pulling Panther in the conversation. And then the Psycho Hobies, who might be a lawyer. I don't even know what she does. She says she did everything in those DMs she did with me. The one who's jealous of Ja and Demi Goddess, and the one who keeps starting stuff with us. She keeps every once in a while showing up. And she goes by a cat name if people are trying to look for clues for that. And she just keeps stirring up mess. And it's like, look, move on with your life. Move on with your life. We've moved on with our life. Why are you still sweating us? And she called Demi Goddess a Nazi, which I take offense to. She bothered Meg about her faith, which proves that she was listening to our cast. Because one of our bigger casts, one of the casts that had the most hits, was the one we did where we talked about faith. And then she made that sly comment. And then Kiwi, that insignificant lady, she brings up that me and Meg are like diamond and silk. And you knew I was ready to fight after that BS. I'm ready to go to New Zealand or wherever that bitch is and show her some diamond and silk.
Outside and boom.
Yeah. I'm a pretty calm person, but it's like y'all are stalking us. You won't even face us face to face. Some of y'all bitches are blocking. They have me in your name in DMs like that shit ain't getting back to us. Because you don't even know who you talking to trying to be popular. That's the problem. I don't need to be popular. People don't like me, fuck them.
Because social justice has we've now become the cool.
Yeah.
And that's a bad thing. We've become the cool kids. We've
Yep.
become people that everybody wants to get down with because they look at us like, oh, look at them social justice. Like, there ain't nothing worse. I mean, you can be called a Nazi in the SJW. Now we're about to throw hands. I mean,
yeah.
I don't believe it. Okay.
And the problem I have is this whole Mean Girls clique shit going on, and I don't want no parts of it.
Well, you know already if you're going to fight the battle, and what y'all fight a large battle, you already know right there that you're going to have a resistance. You're going to have a lot of fuckery that comes in because people don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, what you guys are doing as a whole is a job that nobody wants to do.
Nope.
You know, nobody wants to fix the problems of the world, especially in our country. Like, already know people come at y'all from all angles. Enemies, they're gonna try to throw things at allies. They're gonna switch because they feel it's hurt. It ain't.
Yeah.
It ain't for everybody.
And as women of color, especially Panther and I, we get a lot of stuff. And then Sun and Demi, and they fight their own battles. I'm telling you right now, none of them, now Sun, not Demigoddess, has ever asked me to step into stuff for them because a lot of times they're just like, they're not on my level. I'm not going to fight with these women. But it just, the New Yorker in me, the person that has my friends back, I can't stand seeing people pull my friends in the fuckery. Yes. Welcome back.
All right. I'm going to have to leave it like this because this seems like the only way to get it to work.
Yes.
Okay. But, I just really don't understand, y'all.
Me either.
Like,
I don't.
I honestly feel as if people have reverted to being children.
Yep.
I mean, that's really what this feels like. I feel like we're dealing with kids. I mean, why the fuck are we fighting on the internet? I mean, and why are we being petty?
Yeah, it's one thing versus the MAGA and the Nazis and people who are still using the plural after all this time, which, heads up, it's not a good word. If you're still using that in your handle, there's something wrong with you. Get a dictionary, for real.
But now that we talk about cult behavior, let's be clear about something. You know already that this is, mind-boggling behavior on who has single-handedly made nasty, misogynistic, racist, homophobic behavior acceptable because if the president of the United States is doing it, how can you be wrong?
But I think it's more that Trump is just the symptoms of what's wrong with this country. And you can see it with Twitter in this clique mentality. Because for real, and I will stress this again like I did in my thread, I'm 40 years old. I don't want people telling me how to tweet. I don't want people telling me who to follow. And I don't want people telling me who to block. And if you call yourself resistance and you're wasting your energy on who to block and a block list, you brought that on yourself. Louise Mensch should not be as popular as she is. Anybody on Twitter asking you for your loyalty, you need to forget about that person.
Yes, straight up.
And
yeah, I mean, like when they tell us, oh, you cussing that dude, whatever. Yeah, I cussed that dude, fucking idiot. What are you talking about? Like, we had to change our whole tactics because we kept getting reported.
Yep. I've been on so many timeouts.
Yeah. Just for no, getting Twitter timeout for no fucking reason. But yeah. Okay. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. All the shit that's been happening. I feel like I've gone back to fucking preschool. It's just like you're dealing with children. Why are we even doing this? Why the fuck are we even playing these games? And why are y'all so fucking gullible and stupid that you go along? I mean, that's.
Oh, she's gone.
It knocked you out again. Darn it. I'm for real. This is making me mad. I just want people to know, for real, that you can check all of our timelines. You will never see a tweet from any of us telling us who to block. I might endorse a follower every once in a while that says, "Hey, can you help me get followers?" Because there's some really interesting people out there that use Twitter. And an
Hello?
endorsement is different from telling people who to follow in my book.
Hello?
Hey.
Okay. That's my problem. Why are people so fucking gullible?
Yeah.
Why are you willing to believe anything you fucking hear? Just because you see somebody write it on Twitter, like you don't question that shit, it doesn't occur to you to say, maybe I should find out why a whole bunch of random people are telling me to block a whole bunch of other random people that I don't know, and I'm listening to them. Why?
Yeah.
You don't even know who the fuck you're blocking. Like, you just went.
You're gone. You're gone again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if somebody on my friend list tells me, hey, look, the person's no good, they kind of dangerous, you need to block them, I'll block them. And they're like on Facebook.
But most of that is like in DMs, and they will show you like a picture of something. Like a lot of people will come to me in DMs and say, "Hey, block this person, they're Nazi." They have pictures of them being a Nazi.
Okay. I get, like, even listening to y'all, like, even there are sometimes that I won't block people that y'all have said y'all have issues with. Not because I want to go be friends with them, not because I doubt you, not because I trust them, but you're fucking grown.
Yeah.
I don't have to do everything you fucking do. Like, that's the one.
Yep. That's the wonderful thing about our friendship is we don't do that to each other. We grown folks. And some of our old CCC drama that we had was based on a former member trying to say that we acted like a cult. And that's what that Hobie's jumped on. And I want to say this to him if he listens. Nobody, and I want you, and you're in IT, you can pull up all of our chat files, brother man. You ain't got one iota of us ever telling you who you can kick it with on Twitter. Because we don't do that. I don't like people telling me what to do. So I know that nobody in our circle of friends told anybody else who they could talk to. But because we didn't like his little snowflake girlfriend, and I'm calling her his girlfriend because he was side sexting her.
Oh,
because we didn't like her with good reason, all of a sudden we're a cult mentality. And that shit has been following us ever since that nonsense. And I'm calling it out right here. We didn't like your girlfriend. We didn't say boo to you about it. But because we didn't want to kick it with you anymore because you like hanging out with racists, all of a sudden we're a cult. Well, I'll be in a cult that don't like racists then.
Yeah, I mean, since when that's...
Yeah. It's just like, come on. I'm gonna restart the call because I really want to get the sound in.
Yeah.
Give me just a moment. I'm gonna keep doing this because we're gonna get the second half done. All right, let's. I'm gonna rate this very bad. I'm telling you now. Thanks for having patience with us. There are just so much going on, and I really want this.
Hello.
Hey. But yeah, I really wanted you to weigh in on this because, for real, they kept dragging your name in this, and it was making me mad. It's still not doing a sound. All right. I don't know if it's my connection or not. Let me get rid of my camera and see if that helps. All right. The call failed for Lefty. I'm going to try one more time to dial without video. Let's see. Okay. Some of this might be edited out later.
Okay, hello?
Hello. Yeah, I'm going to try without video to see if that helps the sound.
Me too.
Yeah, I just really, like I said, because they kept dragging you in this, I definitely wanted your input.
Really, honestly, like, I just don't get it. Like, I mean, I'm at the point where I'm I'm really upset at humanity right now because I feel like all these, like, y'all are being stupid for no reason. And then
uh-oh. I hear noise, but now it's just air. Come on, Skype. For real. Okay. A lot of this is getting edited out, y'all, because I don't know what's going on with Skype. Let's try this again.
hello?
Hey, I can hear you clear right now.
Great. But, I mean, I'm just like, bro, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, y'all are tripping for no fucking reason. And to me, it's really a pain in the ass that we're at this point. That's why I said, like, I'm really fucking pissed off at humanity.
Yep, in whole, I think it lost her again. I'm for real with the Skype stuff. It's really getting frustrating because, you know, this is important. This whole relaunch cast is all about getting this out because so many people have dragged our names and shit that we had nothing to do with. You know, so let's see what I can do to fix this. Alright. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some editing for this second half tonight. Okay. Let me just try to call Meg. Alright. I'm gonna try just you and I one-on-one just to see if it cuts out.
Okay.
Alright. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get back to the whole topic of the clique mentality.
Yeah. I mean, because I feel like people don't want to think for themselves. Like, it's easier to just believe what the fuck somebody tells you. You choose not to form an opinion on your own. Yeah. And it's like, it's to the detriment of society.
It really is. And it's like I said in that thread, you got these mean girls who get on Twitter. They know they can herd people into these groups and then pick people apart. And I don't know about anybody else, but I can't not see any evidence of anybody who uses the CCC tag. Not you, not Sun, not Demigoddess. None of us have ever gone throughout our thread talking about block this person, do this, tweet this way. So it's funny when people accuse us of the shit that they co-signed on with Louise Mensch and with the Psycho Hobies and with the fake lawyer and probably with Kiwi. I just don't know because I don't follow her ass. She was that irrelevant to me. And sound. Come on, Skype. Oh my gosh. Oh, we are going to keep this rolling, people.
Okay, hello?
Hey.
Yeah. I answered the video by accident. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, for me, like, it's just like, dude, like, y'all are being so fucking silly. Yeah. And you're taking time away from the important shit. Like, I can't, the fuck, like, why the fuck are you focused on that? You know what I'm saying? We have so many other things to worry about, but you get on your Twitter to be a fucking bitch and to act like, you are fucking 12.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, look at
something else.
I want people who listen to this cast, because there are a lot of people who've been itching to listen to this cast, to seriously go. You don't even have to go to my timeline. Go to Panther's timeline and look at the stuff she's tweeted and see if any of this stuff. She should have her name in any of this stuff. She's been talking about social issues. She has been talking about relevant news. And all of a sudden, every once in a while, these stupid birds, and I call them stupid birds, be pulling her into this stuff. And it's like, that's why I went off on that mega rant.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mega Rant, because, I mean, the shit is irritating as fuck. Like, bitch, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. I don't fuck with you. So why are you dragging me and shit? Why are you, like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to prove? Yeah. And then the thing that really irritates me the most about the situation is you pulled this shit, and then you go back and you say that somebody's fucking harassing you.
Yeah.
I take issue with that shit. Like, I take that personally.
Yep.
Because then that means that you're saying I'm attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
We weren't thinking about you.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about you. So how the fuck am I attacking you? But I'm not even talking about you. And when people go and look at this shit and they're like, oh, I didn't even know it was like that. Yeah, motherfucker, it's like that. Why the fuck? I don't give a fuck about her.
Yeah.
I don't care about her. But you put my business out there, first of all, and you try to make fun of me over it. Yeah. That pisses me off.
Yep.
But then on top of that, like, you get me put in this situation where you put me on a fucking block list. Like, people are blocking me now. Yeah. Like blocking, like, there's a block list for people blocking impunity and this shit. Like, why the fuck is this shit real? Yeah. Like, y'all are supposed to be above this shit. You're supposed to be better. And bitch, who the fuck are you? Like, what makes you think you are that important to everybody else around here that I would actually sit up and think about ways to fuck with you? I don't care about you. Exactly. It's the motherfucking internet. Yeah. It's motherfucking life.
Exactly.
Seriously. I'm out here trying to be about my money, trying to make sure my shit is straight. I'm trying to take care of life. And you bitches are on fucking Twitter. Like, but you claim that everybody else has done shit to you. Y'all are victims. You're a victim of shit. But
okay. Damn it. The sound dropped. I don't know whether it's shaped or what. But for real, every point you were making was on point because we have moved on. They listening to our old cast, even though right now they can't. It's obvious because they made references to it. Y'all are following us. We ain't following you. We have moved on. Your name ain't popping up in our mouths until you start stuff that we can see. And obviously when we moved on, some of them just had to keep making themselves visible. Like I said, the whole Kiwi thing makes me mad because I had talked about her in weeks. Got my poison out about her, to her, before I unfollowed and muted her. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing my name spelled very wrong, by the way. It's in my handle, dummy. And you bringing up my name in conversations to the wrong person. And anybody who knows me, friend-wise, knows I don't have multiple accounts because I can't even remember to log in to my Skype. I just had to reset the shit. So for you to tell me that you thought that Panther was me, A, you're an idiot. B, learn how to spell, because my name is clearly in my handle. And C, keep my name and her name out of your business. Because it's just for real. I'm over people doing this to us. I'm over people attacking our friends at home, but I'm really over them dragging us because, for real, we're not even on Twitter that much right now. And when I'm on and when you're on, we're talking about issues. So what bothers me is when we get on after work or something like that, and we see our names being brought up, and we're like, what the fuck? You know, what is this? I'm going to call you back really quick. But yeah, I really want her to weigh in on this because out of all of us in our circle of friends, she and I are the least involved in this, yet we keep getting dragged back in.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, but you know, yeah, you're right. Like, there's other shit to be worried about. Like, I really wish that, you know, we could move on from this shit and it could stop being a fucking topic of such discussion. Because like you said, like I'm talking about real shit. Like I'm concerned about fucking climate change. I'm worried about fucking free lunches for kids. Like I'm worried about all these fucking sexual predators. I'm worried about all of these women. I'm worried about shit that affects me long term. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Yeah. I really don't. I don't give a fuck about that. And I'm not trying to be that asshole. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I'm really working hard on trying not to be that bitch because I understand that's not gonna do anything to make it worse. But it's just like, dude, like, why the fuck do y'all own me? Why are you riding me so hard?
Yeah.
Like, go find something else to do with your time. Go find something else more productive to be in life than fucking riding other people on the internet like some fucking troll. Like, stop trolling.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you like as fluent or whatever as Kiwi or whatever the fuck you call him.
Yeah, Kiwi, that the New Zealand Stan, as I call her.
Whatever the fuck you want to call it. Bitch, if you were that affluent, bitch, if you were that affluent, you should be doing something seriously more expensive with your time. I'm just going to tell you straight up. If that really is the life that you were living, why the fuck are you on the internet fucking with people? Honestly.
Yes.
I'm just saying. I mean, bitch, if I had the money that you say you have, I would not be on fucking Twitter running around
starting drama,
trying to tell Talib Kweli how horrible and evil these people are and how much of a cult. Bitch, what are you?
Yeah.
Like, really? You running to go tell your daddy? Like, what is he gonna do? Yeah. What is he gonna do? Is he going to turn me over and spank me? No. Yeah. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna take my phone away? Is he gonna tell me no, Panther, you can't be on the internet? No, bitch. Move the fuck around.
As you can see, Talib don't give a crap. He's still following all of us. He still interacts with all of us.
Move all the way around.
Yeah.
All of the way around. Just move all the way around. Like, why are you even doing that? Find something more productive to do with your time.
Yeah. And to add to that, the people with the resistance hashtags, if you ain't doing resistance work and you got that resistance hashtag, unfollow me. I don't need to pad my following count with people who ain't really about getting this mess of an administration out and then working with the social issues that we will still have after the administration's gone. That's why I always correct people. Don't come with me with that bigoted bullshit. And I don't care if you think you're a sister girl or you're a white woman or you're a white dude. When you come at me with fuckery, I'm cursing you out. And me and Zwerg talked about it in the first half. That girl that I had to dismiss earlier this week because she was tone policing me about white people and how if I'm too nice to white people, it'll send them to her timeline. I'm like, I don't got that power. Why people? I really wish I had the power that these Twitter people give me. I mean, I'm for real. I'm like this mega goddess in their mind. I can make white people do crazy shit to black people now. I don't know. It is crazy. But this is what I mean about Twitter group think. And when you accuse people who are real with this shit of being Twitter group thinkers, you better have...
Okay, hello?
Hello. Yeah.
So, please, show me where I've participated in any kind of collab activity, because I forgot. If it happened, that shit totally slipped my mind.
Well, I've
been asking people to show me where I did whatever I've been asking people to show me that shit for the longest. And they either stop talking to me or they start lying more. I have yet to receive any information on what I have done to said crazy person. So until that shit happens, keep my name out your motherfucking mouth. Until I tell you who to fuck with, until I tell you who not to believe, until I tell you I'm a part of the resistance, because I ain't never claimed that shit.
Neither have I.
Now, I'm all for the resistance. I back it. I totally believe in the principle. Does that mean that I am affiliated with the resistance? Does that mean that I put the resistance hashtag or any of that shit in my fucking timeline? No. No, bitch. I speak for myself.
Yep.
I totally support them. And at the end of the day, yeah, I back the resistance. I do. I back what they do. But that is not what I claim. That is not what I portray.
We can back without being affiliated. That's what I say. But seriously, what you're saying is real. We have always been supportive of the real resistance. And I'm making that clear. The real people who get stuff done, who are on their networking to let us know about meetings, let us know what bills are trying to be passed. Because there are real people who use Twitter for the right reasons. But there are some of you bitches who are hashtag activists. And I call you that all the time. You want to hashtag stuff. You're the type of people that take pictures of yourself at protests. We ain't got time for that. Okay? So, yeah, that's why you won't see me and maybe some of my other friends put that resistance in our bio, because there's no reason for it. If you can't tell by our tweets we're against the social fuckery and political fuckery, you ain't reading what we're tweeting. It's as simple as that. It's just we have such serious stuff going on in this country.
The last shit that you just said one more time.
Yeah.
If you, even if you don't see that fucking resistance hashtag in our fucking timeline, but you see what we are tweeting, what does that tell you?
Yes.
We're not for fuckery.
No.
We are not for fuckery. Like, we really are. We are not for the fuckery. We are trying to rise above this shit. We're trying to do better than this. That's what the fuck we care about. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about who you are friends with today, who hurt your feelings. I don't give a fuck about internet dick.
And it went out. But none of that, seriously, everything you said right up to internet dick got caught. And for real, it's the truth, though. All you people get twisted on this stupidness. And I'm sorry. Sorry for being secure in myself. And I'm pretty sure Panther is not sorry for being secure in herself to not need all that fuckery. We're here trying to freaking wake people the F up on what's going on. We've got sexual predators in our White House. We've got a pedophile running for Senate in the state next to the both of us. So, sorry if we can't be focused on who likes who this week. You know? It's just, it bothers me that this is the constant on people. This is the constant that y'all want to mess around with. We really don't have the time for that.
Yes, that is everything that you said. That is the truth. That, like, there's so many things that we could talk about. Like, there's so many different things that we can talk about. There's so many things that, you know, we have wanted to talk about. There's so many things that we missed out, like, on the last few months, that we have had plenty of words that we wanted to say, that we wanted to speak, that we wanted to get out into the world, into the existence, to, you know, to let people know, like, dude, like, we see this shit. Are you paying attention? Are your eyes open? Are you watching what's happening out here right now?
Yeah.
Are you seeing this? What's going on? Is it occurring to you that this shit is kind of fucked up? Like, that's what we're worried about.
Yeah.
We're worried about that. And I'm sorry that we didn't get to focus on those issues, but we really needed to get this shit out. It needed it all to be said.
Yeah.
Because we've been holding it in, and we usually, like, I try my best not to be that type of person to constantly talk about drama and shit on my TL. I like to go back and forth with people. I like to do things like that. I like to read important articles and shit like that. Like, I'm trying to get information out there. I'm trying to provoke thought. I want people to think about shit. Like I was talking about Native Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, talking about the statistics of how Native Americans are 3.1 times more likely to be shot by police. That's more than black.
Yeah.
That's more than black people.
Yeah.
They're killing Native Americans at higher rates. Police brutality is happening to them, and they're only 0.8.
Yes, they're only 0.8%, and yet they are being slaughtered. And that's why I wanted you to get on here, and I'm going to do another dial-in because the sound dropped again. Frickin' Skype. But to keep it going, for real, my thing is, these are the topics that we stress on our timeline. This is what our show should be about.
Yeah.
And you were telling us this.
On those things.
Yeah.
Those are the important things. Those are the things that matter in life.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're living in a time where life is not appreciated.
No.
Like, it's not. Like, from people killing each other to the lives that we live every day, for the way that we live, for the freedoms that we have. Nobody cares for each other's lives anymore. We don't give a shit about what happens to the next man anymore. Yeah. And that is the problem. That is part of the reason that we are living the way that we are. And there's part of the reason why people feel like, you know, hey, you got people saying that, you know, they're tired of people living off of them and all this shit like that. Well, that shit isn't true. First of all,
Yeah. Uh-oh. We're gonna do this again. I'm gonna have my work cut out for me with this editing. But yeah, economic issues and everything else. We got a lot on our plates, and you got all these people worrying about stupid stuff.
Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, you know, we got shit to worry about, man, and it's a lot of things going on right now.
And empathy, you know, what happened to it?
What happened to empathy? What happened to wanting the...
It went out again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're going to have to wrap this up, unfortunately. But next week we will have these sound issues cleared up. I'm going to call you one more time, though, because I really want to sign off with you at least. You know. Okay, let me call you one more time.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll be back. I'll be back next week. The sound will be working, and we'll be all good to go.
Oh yeah, we will definitely be fired up. But I just really want
to say what we needed to say, though.
Yes, because I really wanted to get, especially our side of the story out, because like I said, we're getting dragged into stuff that we had no part in from the jump, and it cut out again. All right, and I am sorry about that, folks. The second half of this show had a bit of hiccups because of the voice and sound stuff dropping on Skype. We've been using Skype for our show for over a year now, so all these issues that we've been having of late, I don't know if it's the update and whatnot, but we will get them squared away for the next cast. Plus, it really does let you see that this is real. We are real people, and we really wanted to tackle the groupthink mentality issue. And I am so glad to have gotten this first cast recorded with the crew. I want to give a thank you to Zwerg. I definitely want to give a thank you to Panther Goddess. I want to give a thank you to Lefty and all the CCC crew. You know, we're out there really trying to fight the good fight, and we have each other's back. And to those who are listening, especially the haters, you're not going to stop us. In fact, your hate just motivates us. And we will be back next week, hopefully with a lot less sound issues to entertain you. Going to close it out now. See y'all next week.